An elderly couple who owns this dry cleaning store called Quality Cleaners here in Mississauga for over 22 years says they were completely shocked when they came to the store last week to find the door had been locked, seemingly without notice.
This is really disappointing because we've been their tenants, and I think we had a good relationship, up to now.
Jeremy King, who is speaking on behalf of his parents due to a language barrier, says his parents had no choice but to close their store after sales dropped by 80% in March.
Because of the virus outbreak, the sale has been dropped drastically, and then because they are getting old and they're afraid of contacting the virus.
The drop in sales made it next to impossible for the Kims to pay the $5,800 in rent. Their son says they've never missed a payment in the past.
My parents have been doing this dry cleaning for over 22 years with the same landlord, and because we didn't pay the rent on time, they chose to evict us without notifying and by changing the locks.
The plaza's property manager sent us a statement, and it reads in part, after requesting the rent due several times, the landlord posted a notice to the tenant and changed the locks. The notice advises that they may regain possession of the premises if they pay the rent due under the lease. The tenants will also have to pay the cost of the locksmith and legal costs incurred, which will bring their total up to $6,800.
The contract, so the commercial lease that they sign, will often enough provide them with remedies for the landlords in the event that they don't pay their rent. Usually what that is if a tenant fails to pay rent, they're allowed to repossess the property and change the locks.
Even if it's within their rights, they could have at least notified us because we've been their tenants for 22 years.
While that is the law, Sindawani says this is unprecedented territory, so adjustments should be made.
The governmental mandate right now is social distancing. In order for everyone to comply with social distancing, everyone needs to take a step back, and landlords need to be especially considerate.
Jeremy says his parents hope to have a proper goodbye with the customers they knew for over 2 decades.
Every Canadian is struggling, and I think it is, this is time for Canadians to show some sort of solidarity.
He adds there's over $10,000 worth of clothing and equipment still inside the store, which his family needs to access.
I'm lucky. I only have a coat in there, but I overheard a few people talking, and there was one gentleman, he's got I guess a couple of suits in there worth about $2,500.
The lawyer we spoke with recommends all tenants to take a look at their business insurance policies because he says in certain situations, business interruption insurance can help tenants recuperate some of the costs lost during a pandemic like COVID-19. Maleeha Sheikh, City News, Mississauga.